Let us see, Hiorio. What is your reflex? What's up, guys? Welcome to you, and here we are to do a breakdown slash live reaction slash review to chapter 230 of Blue Loco, which is known as the center of the world. And I will admit, I don't think the game's ended this chapter. I don't know why. Like, I have it in my I don't know. Last chapter, I mentioned this already. I don't feel like the game's gonna end this chapter. And like, nah, it has to end next chapter, right? I don't know. Once again, I'll talk about more and more of my thoughts about the length of the game and why I think the game feels so long, despite the game, I think, is literally still shorter than Manshine. Like, the game is, I don't think it's actually longer than Manshine yet. But I'll go into my thoughts on that, and I'll probably end up comparing the two games, because they're the two games I have actively covered on the channel, soon enough. Once the games are over and I do a reread of both games and I sit on for like a week or two, then I'll probably do a video comparing both games, seeing what I like more, seeing what I like less. But let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Editing me. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? I'm Pencil here. Fun fact, I have it on me. I keep it on me at all times. Another fun fact, since this is Peak Lock, and I believe in the old-fashioned moniker, peak every week. Oh yeah, we're pre-drawn. And let's see if this chapter was a chapter worth pre-drawn, because I don't know. I gotta feel like Center of the World doesn't sound like a goal chapter. It sounds like a Hiori chapter, and Hiori's not scoring. Like, I don't think anyone in their mind believes Hiori's scoring. And considering this game is literally Hiori's game, like, I don't think there's much doubt about that anywhere in the fan. I don't think anyone's delusional enough to believe that this isn't Hiori's game. I don't think we're gonna end this chapter, because it seems like a chapter that's setting him up, especially since last chapter we ended off with him about to think reflexively. We probably, I'm guessing, if I had to take a guess based on how Kaneshiro Sensei and Nomura Sensei have done chapters like this in the past, we're probably gonna end off with a pass this chapter. Like, it's gonna be like, this is the pass, it'll make me the center of the world, and then we're gonna cut, and then hopefully next chapter we'll see the final goal. The main reason, I'll admit, I do want to talk about it a little bit right here at the start. The main reason I am so, like, itching to get this game over is just because of how well set up PXG is. Like, don't get me wrong. The reason I'd say Blue Lock, hands down, and I dare I say it's very little to no competition, has the best overall sidecast in New Gen. Yes, more than JJK, more than MHA, more than Black Clover, more, yeah, and I know some people are gonna look at me funny on Black Clover, because Black Clover, one of the main things that show gets praised for is its fantastic use of its sidecast. I'm gonna have to say Blue Lock has the best because it takes time like this. And obviously, despite how much you may hear me on and off complain about the length of the game, I've done it on this platform, I've done it on other platforms. Note, I understand it comes from a necessary pace to make things feel worth it and to build up characters properly. The reason Hiori is likely in my top 10, if not top 5 characters, is because we've spent so much time with the character and his inner turmoil and his development all across, what, the 10 minutes he's been on the field? Sure, it feels dragged out in the moment, but I think the weekly experience is what really drags the weight of the chapter down. Or really just the individual chapters along the way. The character work in each individual chapter is fantastic, but I can imagine this kind of like itching for it to end feeling is what a lot of people were feeling when the U20 match came out. And luckily enough, I started reading Blue Lock after that point. So I never had to worry about the U20 wait, but the U20 match wait must have been insane. And I feel like that's the same thing here. So I am appreciating it. I'm trying to see what character work we fit in here, especially considering the whole nature of thinking reflexively. That was something that Hiori pointed out, that he told Isagi, all that. I just wanted to shift you forward slightly. I shift you forward even more slightly? I'm very nearsighted. Computer. Computer, don't do this to me! Computer! Computer! I mean, not computer. Well, actually, yeah, computer for the light source. Please. Please work. I beg of you. For the sake of my people. I need to get a fresh connection or something like that, because this has been happening way, way too often recently. Let's see, you gonna work? You gonna work? Yay! Alright, let's actually hop into the chapter itself. After seeing his shot blocked, Hiori decides to quit football. However, after getting I thought that said something completely different. Spurned on. You see why I had to pull? You see why I had to pull the screen for? Because I thought this said something completely different. Spurned on by Isagi, Hiori chooses to tap into his twisted blue lock ego one last time. As obviously not one last time. Like, that's not. If Hiori doesn't end up as a mainstay on BM, then this game is worthless. If he don't join the planetary hotline, let's just say Nomura gonna have to come see. Well, not Nomura. Kaneshiro Sensei's gonna have to come see me. That's all I gotta say. If this really is the last time he does it, and he's like afterwards, thanks Isagi. It was great working with you. Never doing that again. Too much mental stress. Let's just say I'd have words, but I happen to speak in sign language that's not using my hands. But regardless, I'll take the narrator at face value on this one last time. As Hiori goes all in to help Isagi with the game, it's time to reach past your limits, egoist. Alright, coming up with a huge stop, it's now BM on the attack. Alright, so we're gonna get another hotline break, which is going to be interesting. Once again, it really is very similar to last game, where it feels like it's Hiori and Isagi kind of against the world. Like, obviously Kunigami's there, and Kunigami was there crazy enough for the save last chapter, which is wild. But like, even actually Yukimaya is there too. Yukimaya should actually be willing to help, but Yukimaya's kind of been a phantom this game. Like, especially considering how much of the previous game was focused on him, you would really have thought he'd have much more of an impact in this match. But if anything, he was there to show why he couldn't join the planetary hotline, which is kind of sad. Like, I was hoping that Isagi and Yukimaya teaming up would be a much bigger thing that would lead to better things, but who knows? Maybe we get that in this chapter. But still, remember, Kaiser's still out there, and sure, he's not allowed to directly interfere with Isagi, but we clearly see he's more than willing to do it anyway. Like, he showed up and messed up Isagi's shot anyway, a few chapters back. And Ness is Ness, bro. Like, obviously, Ness is going to keep cooking. Or, I guess it's anti-cook, he's going to keep cooling. Let's see. In a game full of counterattacks, this will be the moment. Oh, will this be? I was about to say. I mean, this will be the moment. Will it? Will it? Or Isagi and Hiori are going to mess up again. We're going to go on the other side of the field, and Bro's going to take another shot, and Bro's going to miss, and then we're going to come back down the field again with Isagi and Hiori. Are you sure this will be the moment? But it says, will this be the moment? Hopefully it will be. Will this be the final counterattack? Look at Hiori, locked in. He just like me, for real. Let's see. And Nico with the immediate press. One thing I will admit, I'm not a Nico hater per se, but like, I personally don't see all the Nico hype. A lot of people really like Nico. Oh, he's neat. He's cool enough. He's a cool cat. He is legit just Isagi light to me. And like, don't get me wrong, I get those kind of characters have their place in the narrative. Like, some of my favorite characters in other pieces of media are literally just the main character light. I can't name any examples because I think those all kind of count as massive endgames. But like, Nico feels like an Isagi light, but since he's on the enemy team right now, it's kind of like, I mean, he's cool. He's neat. He's kind of cooking. But low-key, I'm not trying to eat what he's serving. You know what I'm talking about? But let's see. Well, actually, no. The thing is, though, in spite of that, I gotta give him his respect. He has been he and Aiku and Lorenzo, yeah, the defensive trio, they have been, and I hate to say it, but Sendo, too. I can't believe I have to give Sendo of all characters respect. That still hurts me. Y'all, trust me. Someone pointed out in the comments, I want to do Sendo just like Panda, but unfortunately, I can't. I literally can't. Because Kaneshiro Sensei is just too nice to the guy. So, you Sendo fans, all three of you, you're lucky. But let's see. What was I say? Oh, Nico has been one of the most active, like, I'm chasing the ball no matter what. I'm constantly there. I'm constantly moving. Like, he's been moving and grooving for this entire match. And don't get me wrong, he's obviously not as smooth with it, as buttery with it as Lorenzo. You see Lorenzo's bone dry. Meanwhile, you got Nico dripping straight from the eyeballs. Bro might as well be crying. But still, the fact that he's been so undeniably active this game. Huh? I just brushed my hair out. Hats off. Hats off to the boy, man. He's been moving and grooving. I give him that credit. But Lorenzo, let's see. We'll crush him here. High press trap design. So they're double teaming Broski. Okay. This is a rough matchup even for Hiori. He's gonna have to get rid of that ball. Let's do this, Nico-chan. Is it disrespectful when Lorenzo does it? Because, like, he, like, I don't know. He calls Baro-Chan too. So, like, I guess he just calls all the kids that. And I guess Baro technically isn't a kid. I think he's 18. Baro is an adult. But Nico's 15. So I guess that is technically appropriate. But, like, I don't know how I feel about that. I guess, like, obviously in English we don't use many honorifics unless we're like calling Mr. or Lord or like anything like that. Like, we'll usually put it beforehand. But I don't know, bro. Don't call me pencils. Well, don't call me Nico-san, bro. Get off me. Let's see. Just shut up, okay? Lorenzo's low-key. He's kind of been lacking, but at the same time, I can appreciate that you can't keep Lorenzo at full steam the entire game. But let's see. He already got the Metavision up. Let's see what pops off. Interesting. That's an interesting choice. So he sees Nico coming from the left. Nico's charging in, coming in for the first part of the press. Lorenzo's coming in from the right for the other side of the press. Okay, so they're essentially pincer attacking him. And then if he goes backwards, Lorenzo or Nico could just dive backwards. And same if he goes forwards, Lorenzo or Nico could just dive forward. So that's a smart idea. I get why a high press trap design would work here, because you can essentially cover all angles by covering the two directions you're coming in from, and then just easily able to divert to either direction. But Hiori sends it backwards. Flicks it up backwards. That's interesting. It even seems to catch Lorenzo off guard. Even Nico. Then again, it doesn't seem like Nico, at least in this image, is using that Metavision. But I guess, once again, this is the thing I constantly bring up with Metavision. If you don't have data on somebody, like, how good is it? Like, how good is it actually? If you don't know everything, or if not everything, if you don't know a decent chunk about your opponent, Metavision honestly isn't that good. Like, it really isn't. And unfortunately, Hiori has, like, no recent battle data, except for the game they've literally just seen him playing. That's it. That's the only data they have on him. And, like, his short spurt in U20, but everyone's gotten amped since U20. So, like, even though Hiori's been on the bench, he's obviously a completely different person, skill-wise, power-wise, stats-wise, than he was during the U20 match. So, like, Nico, a Metavision user, especially a fresh one, probably just has nothing in his kit to, like, immediately shut down or deal with someone like Hiori, because he's such a new factor to the field. Which is why I'm so interested to see how Isagi is going to stay meta-relevant in a new world, to say. Obviously, you can just review game film and just get a whole bunch of stats from that, but, like, I wonder if Nomura and Kaneshiro Sensei are going to play with that. The idea that Metavision is super reliant on data you need to build on the spot. Let's say. Take your precious little... look at Ghost Boy over here. Look at him weaving. And interesting, he took the path behind Lorenzo. And Lorenzo's just bamboozled, dog. Lorenzo, wake up, bro. Wake up. I was supposed to call out bro for sweating. I think have we seen a single new Gen World 11 member sweat? Have we? In my heart of hearts, something wants to say that we haven't. I don't remember Sei ever sweat. Actually, no. I think we did see Sei sweat. What's that, sweat or what's that? I don't know. I'm specifically thinking of towards the end of the game of the U20, and the coach was talking about maybe subbing somebody out. And then Sei was like, dude, just don't. Because, like, if you can't see the fever here, you're no coach at all. You're kind of trash. And to be fair, the U20 coach was pretty trash. But still, I think maybe he was sweating then. But, like, Kaiser, I don't think so. Lorenzo, don't think so. It seems like there's still... I know sweat is not always an obvious indication of actual exertion. They probably just have really, really good conditioning. But still, crazy that we haven't seen them get pressed at all. While Hiori, who's been in the game for, like, 10 minutes... at most, dripping like crazy. Let's see. Designs and shove it right up your... Yo, Hiori, watch your mouth, bro. Watch your mouth, young man. I swear. Oh, interesting. That's a interesting way to play it. So at least from my understanding, Hiori was in the middle. That's why Nico's coming in from the left. Lorenzo was coming in from the right. They both go to press him. Hiori, he kicks the ball backwards over himself, but it goes forwards, or at least it presumably goes up the field. So I wonder why Lorenzo fell for that. Like, before Lorenzo was able to do a proper, and then admittedly, if Lorenzo was charging in from the right, why is he... I guess he's turning to chase Hiori specifically. But, like, if Hiori does that, he kicks the ball forward. over his back. Wouldn't it have been easier for Lorenzo to keep the direction he's facing and just pivot right instead of doing a full, like, 360-degree turn to chase Hiori? I don't know. Once again, I'm not... The biggest amount of soccer I consume is Blue Lock. I'm not actually the most legendary or knowledgeable football fan out there. So... If y'all got this, if y'all can just fully explain like Lorenzo's doing the full chase. I mean, maybe it is just like a body thing. His eyes are trained to follow wherever the body's going and ignore the ball. But then again, I feel like it would be the opposite of that, especially for someone as like insane as Lorenzo. But I don't know, that's just me. And look at how lanky, bro, is. Look at the length of that arm, dog. What is that? I could literally reach halfway across the world with that bad boy. But let's see. And Isagi's right there. Keep it up, Hiori. I am genuine. I wonder if he's going to collapse at the end of this game. I'm not sure what game has been longer, this or Manshot, but I wonder if he's going to collapse. Because, remember, he's been using Metavision on 100 since the start of the match. And don't get me wrong, there have been little breaks in the match. Like, little time between plays. But, like, dog. Bro, I feel like there are very few panels where he's drawn without Metavision. And we know it's draining not only physically, but mentally. Is bro just going to... Yes, I scored! Just immediately drop? I don't know. Bro he should be super gassed after this, though. I'm interested to see that. And interesting. Well, admittedly, that it is the puzzle pattern. It just looks like the regular lines, but colored in because of how small it is relative to the rest of the image. Let's see. Who the heck do you think you are ordering me around? No, Hiori, you listen here, young man. I swear. You wouldn't even be on this darn field if it wasn't for Isagi. Don't get me wrong. I'm an Isagi eater. A Yoichi yucker, if you will. But that doesn't mean that I'm blind to the fact that he's not a perfect character. But Hiori, you listen to me, young man. You listen directly to me. Don't you dare talk smack to the man who got you on the field. The man who's giving you this opportunity. He just gave you the opportunity of a lifetime, brother. And you're telling me you don't want to be ordered around? You don't want to be told what to do? Which one of you just fumbled? The game could have been over. We could be getting ready for the real Ultimate game, PXG. We could have been training. We could have been ready at this point. We would have been in the wrap-up arc. But no, someone had to take their little ego and try to score the ball when they knew they weren't about that life. So, Hiori, I want you to hear me, young man. You're going to be ordered around. You're going to be commanded. Let it be like you under piety from Seven Deadly Sins, bro. You better be under complete hypnosis. It better be Kyokusoi Getsu up in this. Because there ain't no way you're complaining about being ordered around by the man who gave you life. Don't make me hop up in this manga, young man. I will discipline you like your father never did. Nah. That is interesting. He's getting a spine. A little late for it, but he's getting a spine. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't be able to impact the game. Okay. Hiori? Dog. If it weren't for him, you wouldn't be on the field. You wouldn't be able to impact the game without him. You would literally be worthless. And, like, don't get me wrong. I do get it. I get it. It goes both ways, right? Like, obviously, they need each other for the game to be impacted at all. I get that. I understand it. I can see the sentiment. But, brother, dog. Talking a whole bunch of smack for someone who's about to get benched for Jin. For Jin, a character who's had literally negative screen time. Before that little debacle of you about to get into the game, there probably were a total of like 5 panels of Jin in the entire series, dog. And your sorry behind's about to be left on the bench for Jin, dog. Watch your tone, Buckaroo. Watch your tone. Come on now. Who you think you are? It's crazy. Hop off yourself real quick, buddy. Hop off yourself. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, dog. You wouldn't be here. Put some respect on Blue Lock's hero's name, dog. Who do you think you are? Okay. Let's see. Interesting. Once again, Lorenzo's, I mean, he's not necessarily being outplayed, but this is the guy who was like stuffing Kaiser. Like the guy who has what, an overall like 98 or darn near 99. Like bro nearly has cap stats. And Lorenzo was locking brother down. But here you have Hiori and Isagi. Admittedly, obviously, Lorenzo's being supported by Nico. And don't get me wrong, Nico is a very powerful player, but he's literally up against the better him. Like he's up against Isagi. Like Isagi, I don't think this is too hard of a take for all the Nico fans out there. I know there are a decent chunk of Nico fans. I can't pull a sendo and say like all three of y'all. No, I know there's a decent amount of you, at least 4. I think even you can admit that Nico is literally just Isagi light. And thusly, in a 1v1, I get Isagi is the stronger combatant here. But like Lorenzo, dog, you struggling with Hiori? Hiori, when you had Kaiser on... I just read what Lorenzo said, dog. Why? Why is this man such a freak in the streets? Just, bro, he didn't hear the song properly. You want a lady in the streets and a freak? I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it, dog. Why, Lorenzo? Why? I was just getting on your case about not being able to do your job properly. And here, in response to you not being able to do your job properly, that's what you say? Nah. I'm not even going to say it. I don't know how to say that word backwards. Dog, he has a heart there and everything. Lorenzo, chill. These are children, Lorenzo. Lorenzo, I know you're behind a full-grown adult. Lorenzo, you're on live television. I'm calling the police right now. If I'm a Blue Lock TV watcher, I'm immediately ringing up the police. You know, every new Gen 111 member is mic'd up. You know they got that live on air and that crispy 100% fresh XLR audio, dog. You know they heard that. Look at that face. Oh my word, dog. Lorenzo, he's a freak. He's a demon. He's a beast, bro. Like, every means and metric, something's wrong with that man. A rainbow flick on? What? A rainbow what? A rainbow flick 1-2? Yes, Nico. Like, how else would they deal with you? Unfortunately, they do need to just overwhelm you with better stats, which is crazy, right? Because everyone's always blaming Isagi. Like, Isagi needs stat buffs. Isagi needs stat buffs. And Isagi does need stat buffs, don't get me wrong. Especially if he's going to be competing against Rin, who very likely will have the... I think it's pretty much confirmed or soft confirmed. Rin's going to have Metavision. Isagi's already compared the Metavision sensation to what Rin was doing way back in second selection. And if Barrow's got Predator Eye, you know Rin's going to get Predator Eye. So, obviously, Isagi's definitely going to need a stat buff in between games to just deal with Rin alone. But it's funny, because once again, it goes back to the whole Nico being Isagi light argument. He's got the Metavision. He's got the close enough build, but he's just too young. He can't really keep up, and that's why this is just overwhelming him. Let's see. Light pass. And he just ran into a complete Ren, whoever this guy is. Once again, someone pointed this out to me, like, unless I'm mistaken, Hiori was never really dribbling like this. Bro was moving crazy. Like, he traps the ball with his inside foot or is it up? I think it's literally he traps the ball beneath his foot, spins around, puts the ball in a spin cycle, kicks the ball, like taps it lightly with his toes, turns and keeps dashing right around Peroni, which is crazy. I don't know, bro's been schmoving. What the heck's up with this Scion head guy? He's too good. I know Noel knows fuming on the sidelines right now. He's like, where was this in practice? Where was Why are your stats so low? If you're pulling this off, if you're beating out Uwes right now, where was this earlier? Like, I bet if we were to cut to Noel, no, he'd just be sitting there like, I swear these stupid kids and their dumb bubblegum milk cells. I swear. I know bro's nettled. At least I'd be a bit nettled, dog. I feel like, where was this? I would have thrown you in the game sooner if I knew you could do all this. That does it. After this match, Hiori. This better be like flashback dialogue or something, dog. This better. Hiori. This isn't enough. This isn't enough. Hiori? You better take it back. Don't make me hop up in this manga, dog. I swear if we wasted all this time on you and you don't play soccer again, Hiori, I swear. Hiori, I swear. You will not be able to escape from the sun, bro. I will literally fall from the heavens. Hiori, I swear. You better not. You better not, Bucko. You better not. But let's see. After this match, I'm quitting football. After today, I quit playing football. I'm gonna quit. This has been like, don't get me wrong. Heat Lock, one of my favorite new gens. Arguably number 3. Number 2? And number 3. Number 2. I don't know. I like JJ. Now, Four Knights. I still like Four Knights more than Blue Lock. Ironically enough, once again, for a sidecast. Then again, that's literally my bias. That's 100%. If I were to actually like sit down and compare the series properly, maybe Four Knights would end up lower. But like, it's this kind of dialogue, bro. It's this kind of dialogue that gets clout, bro. I'm gonna quit. Like, dog. Yo, poor Abdi, bro. Why they build you like that? Why are you built like that? Why are you mad? He's so wide. But let's see. And once again, they're just moving through the clean nutmeg, too. Darn, what am I doing? Running around like a crazy maniac. What is this feeling? It's the juice. It's the juice, dog. It's the juice. It's that fever. I'll admit, I can only like quantify, or at least specifically remember, like 3 times in my life where I've hit flow. Or like at least what I would consider flow. Where it's like everything shut down, and like the moment I left the state, like all the fatigue caught up to me. One of the biggest moments I will clearly remember is when I was running the 4x2, and we were very specifically in second place when I got the baton. And something in me, something inside of me, it just snapped. It just broke. And I booked it after that guy who was ahead of me. And I specifically remember getting around him, diving as deep into the sprint as I could, and just booking it right on past him as fast as I feasibly could. And like literally, my coach after the fact, because we got the baton, we won that one. And after I just straight hard dropped, like I just fell after running the 200. Like I straight passed the baton off, stumbled off the field out of the way because the guy was immediately right behind me. He turned on the jets too, so it was still a very close race. I collapsed. And then one of the assistant coaches comes over to me with the other assistant coach. And the other assistant coach was like, dude, you all right? You okay? Because he literally sees me like heaving my lungs out on the ground. But the other coach is like, dude, I have never seen you run that fast before. And I was like, oh yeah, I was running. And I still barely remember the sensation. It was like my whole body was vibrating. Like I could literally, like, it almost felt like I was deatomizing. It's such a weird sensation. Like, I don't know exactly how to describe it, but anyone who's like run to their limits or at their limits, or even just performed, it doesn't even have to be running. If you just like performed at any max physical efficiency in any way, shape, or form, you know that feeling where like you're starting to tingle and stuff like that. Like you feel like you're about to awaken like the Flash or something like that. That's the kind of feeling I'm assuming Hiori's feeling right now. That like absolute state of I'm in the game. I'm moving. I'm grooving. I'm schmoving. Like I know that kind of feeling of just absolute, pretty much insanity. It might as well be insanity. Well, let's see. Is it because of Isagi? Like the spelling too. Is it cuz like CUZ? Like, dog. Is it because of Isagi-kun's not kindness, noisiness. Kindness, friendship, definitely not. Bro said no. Could never be any of those things. Could never be because of someone else. I don't know. Like personally, I contribute a lot of my success to other people. The motivation for half the things I do is because I know other people have done it before me. It's like, well, if they've done it, I can do it. I'm a person too. But Hiori is just so well. I guess this once again goes into the reformation of his ego, right? Like the whole idea of, oh, well, I gotta be able to find motivation and drive for myself, not from my parents, not from Isagi, not from anyone else. I want to be able to play football for me. I guess that's it. I don't care about any of that. If I'm being frank, the only thing I care about is seeing whether or not Isagi Yoichi is the real deal. Bro's really just trying to test Isagi's metal right now. Bro's trying to see if he's really him, or if it's just all I can't even knock that, though. I can't even knock that. Similar scenarios, admittedly, nowhere near to the same degree. Like, obviously, Hiori's testing Isagi to see if he's, like, worthy of becoming the world's #1 striker and serving under him. That's what Hiori's testing him for. But, like, I remember, back when I first got into fighters, the person who's now my rival, he kept getting gassed up by the friend who was trying to get me into fighters. Because at first, admittedly, I bought fighters early on when it released, but I was like, it's whatever. Because I was never really too deep into fighting games outside of Smash. And they kept hyping him up. And I finally learned how to play the game. And I was like, you know what? They say so-and-so's Timothy like that, but he ain't like me for real, for real. I was like beating the guy who had taught me how to play the game on and off. And like, yeah, he can't do that. He was definitely like that. I've gotten much better to the point where like we're consistently taking games off each other. But still, once again, I understand that feeling that Hiori has, where it's like, bro, I don't care about anything else. I'm just trying to see if he's really like that. I fully understand that sentimentality. Let's see. He's talking with these midair movements, bro. Look at Kunigami in the background. And Lorenzo, where are you? Lorenzo, I know you're faster than this dog. Why'd you enter the void again? Are you gonna appear from the Shadow Realm? Lorenzo needs to stop slipping in the Shadow Realm. Lorenzo must have the 10 Shadows technique. Bro has to be Maharaga. Because there's no way. Why does bro keep disappearing? The only thing I care about, if I hold the key to becoming the best, then I want to experience the moment the world changes around me. He wants to say he was there. He wants to be the one. I agree. Like, a lot of people, and here's the thing, I do agree on the general consensus of, like, if you aren't the guy who's known to do it, you're always going to be lesser known. Like, what are all the electric companies named after? Edison. Tesla's recently gotten his due credit through Tesla, obviously, but stuff like that. Who was the first man on the moon? Neil Armstrong. Who was the person that got him there? Do you know? I don't. I've seen that one picture of the woman who like wrote the code, but I don't even remember her name. I do not. Who? Well, just endless examples of stuff like that. Like, yeah, Hiori may not be the one who is the one changing the world, but he's the facilitator for that, and him wanting to be that is something I understand. Many people do not want to be on the world stage, or at least like the idol piece of the world stage. Even in like things where you're literally on a stage. Like, I used to act a lot when I was younger. I still do sometimes whenever I have the chance, whenever I have the time to. And I know people who never wanted a lead role. They just kind of wanted to be a background character or a supporting character. They just found the act of doing stuff like that fun. And I can understand why Hiori, someone who's never really experienced that, like, I want to be #1 drive, is just interested to see, let's see if this guy really can be #1. That kind of interest in just forming that, being that. It makes sense. What the heck? I can't believe it. I had this much of a greedy ego. Is it really though? Oh, I like that detail though. I like that you can see the brain through his head. But is it really that greedy of an ego? I mean, I guess in the idea that he's like disregarding all other things, and he's only doing this, he's only following Isagi's orders because he wants to see if Isagi's really like that. I guess that technically is a greedy ego. But like, Hiori, bro, in comparison to some of the egos I've been seeing in this series, dog, you may not even reach the top 10, Buckaroo. To be real with you. Are you even pushing the top 15, dog? In terms of egos, I don't know if you really like that, Hiori. I think I can name 15 strikers that have bigger egos than you. Low-key, Igaguri's got a bigger ego than you. I need to get a new chair. You make way too much noise. I love you, but you make way too much noise. Well, let's see. This is the first time my mind and body are in perfect sync when playing football. That's interesting to me. I've personally never had that like mind-body disconnection. I had a friend. I haven't talked to him in a long time. And I need to check up on him now I think about it. But I had a friend who would literally explain to me, especially whenever we were doing anything like physical in gym, whenever we played things like dodgeball or volleyball or anything like that, he would explain to me like his brain just leaves. Like cognitive thought just doesn't happen in his head. And guess what? That man had some of the fastest reaction times that I've ever seen to this day. Like legit, the ball would be like coming at him. He would be understanding the ball is there, and then like literally at probably the last second, he would raise his hand and catch it and like throw it away, which sometimes would get him out because like, dude, you're supposed to catch the ball. But still, the kind of reaction to the point where your brain and body are just like, yeah, we don't work together. It's crazy to me. I've never experienced that like mind body desync. I've zoned out before when working. Like I've like gone on autopilot, especially when I write scripts sometimes. Like my brain may desync in that way, where like one part of my brain is like, we're gonna work on the script, the other part of the brain is like just a dial tone. Like there's nothing going on up there. It's either a dial tone or Kingdom Hearts music. It's just one of those two things. But I've never had a moment where like my mind and body, especially when actively playing a sport or anything like that, have fully desynced. I've always been a thinker when it comes to any sort of sport, and that's obviously slowed me down. So it's interesting that Hiori is finally in perfect sync. I will. This is how good it feels to believe in yourself. I will. Oh, okay. So that's good. That's good. He's saying it, but internally he's understanding that, nah, he's addicted now. He needs it injected into his veins. He ain't quitting nothing, which is good. That's good. I'm happy that this conflict, he's finally breaking free. And once again, mind and body in perfect sync. This is probably how he's going to lead to thinking reflexively. Once again, that left foot just goes crazy. Oh, speak of him and he shall appear. Look who's here, Yuki Maya. Remember what he did last time now? Okay. Oh, look, he actually worked, seemingly enough. Drago, bro. I'm sorry. We'll never see you again until, like, unless we run into you again later in the story, but I highly doubt that. Only 38 meters. No, I can deliver it if he can get behind the defense, but we still haven't broken down the defense. I'm not in range to deliver the final pass, but this might be the perfect timing. You're thinking too much, buddy. You're thinking too much. You just gotta do. You gotta do. But let's see. Oh, and the thing is, if Ryu's here, they cannot use an air pass. They cannot use an air pass. They're gonna have to keep that bad boy low to the ground or something. Because Ryu, especially against Isagi, I love Isagi, bro, but he's not beating Ryu in an air battle. He's like, didn't Ryu beat Kaiser in an air battle? I may be thinking that wrong. But like, legitimately, Isagi, he ain't like that. Come on, let's see. No, we're still too far. He still hasn't shaken off his marks. Marks, plural. Like, that's crazy. Where's Kaiser? Wait a minute. Where is he? Hold on. Wait a minute. Ooh, where is Kaiser? He is nowhere to be found. He's got to be, like, right behind Hiori. There's no way. Because I kind of just zoned out on him. Him and Ness. Where are they? Where the heck are they? Those little gremlins. Where are they? I love them. I love them both. Two of my favorite characters in all Blue Lock, honestly. Even Ness. But, like, where are they? Whenever they disappear, I know they're going to reappear. I'm going to note that. If this chapter ends without us seeing either of them, they're going to cause some tomfoolery in the next. We may get 2 more chapters of this game before Isagi scores. Because I feel like they're going to show up and mess up again. Somehow. There's no way we're going to go entirely unmentioned. Like, they haven't even dodged around them. We'll see. In that case, what's the best option? Bro, stop. I love how the speech bubble is literally just stop. Hammer time. Interesting. This is such a weird place to stop, too. Why? Why'd you stop? Keep moving. It's true. How am I supposed to pass you if you stopped, idiot? You want me to go rogue and selfishly go for the goal? What are you thinking? Hold on. What are you? Don't look. Don't even think. Surpass our wildest imaginations instinctively. Can I think of a comparison moment? Not a very my Smash Bros. It always comes back. It's either Kingdom Hearts, Smash Bros. Fighters, or My Young Life. I specifically remember. It wasn't even like with the regular friend group. It was just me and bro at some random party. And someone whipped out the Switch. And they were like, we gotta run duos. I picked up this very same Pro Controller right here. Sephiroth had just come out. I was on devious timing. I was on insane timing with Sephiroth. He was playing Mario. I was playing Sephiroth. I was throwing them into so many spots. And it was literally just pure, like, we were not working together. We were not coordinating. We were not speaking. We were just so locked in on winning. We were just like, we got to keep winning. We got to keep winning. Because we had just gotten on a streak. And I specifically remember this one play. We were playing 8-player Smash, right? Because we were trying to get as many people on the sticks as possible. And obviously, the two losers would give up the sticks to the next duo. And I specifically remember it was down to a 2v2. So there were no stakes here. Like, there should have been no reason for him and I to go this hard. But I very specifically remember I back aired with Sephiroth, knocked him into his forward tilt. I back aired the guy again. His friend tried to come in. I forward tilted him, and then I proceeded to turn around as my friend was up tilting with Mario. I fired off the most basic neutral B, didn't charge up anything. It hit him, and my friend instantly pivoted, turned around, and forward aired him into the non-existence. And like, everyone went crazy at that, but we were like, the other guy's still alive, and we proceeded to just beat him up. But that was like, in retrospect, that's one of the most insane, like, oh yeah, we were not thinking, we were not looking, we were not doing anything. It was just we surpassed our wildest imaginations instinctively, and hey, it worked out. So Hiori's in that same point right now. Bro's breaking, he's shattering. Shatter, Yokozuna gets it. Ooh, that's right, Hiori, realize it. Okay, so Isagi, bro, maybe you do want to move, though. So that's your plan. That maniac. Wait, can he even pull it off? No matter how you look at it, this is crazy. Sense it. Right now. The field's blind spot. What's he going to do? He's 38 meters out, isn't he? Wait. Only 38 meters. How long is 38 meters? They're not even anywhere near the goal box. What is Isagi planning? Is he planning to, like... Is he playing the bicycle kick? I have no idea. It's possible, theoretically. Come on, Hiori. I know you can. Yo, that's crazy. It was like, Isagi's like, come on. I know you want it. I know you want it. I know you can feel it. I know you got the fever, dog. Come on, give it to me. Bro is itching for it. All right, you arrogant fool. Let's do this, EOS. Hiori-yo. That's 38 meters? Darn. I guess it is. There he is. Okay. He's here. All right. He does show up. His nose looks a little bit weird because of that image surrounding Isagi, though. But Kaiser's here. He is still alive. Where's Lorenzo, though? You're telling me Aiku made it here, Nico made it here, but no Lorenzo? Dog. What? But let's see. Hiori-yo will become the center of the world. Oh, I forgot. I kind of forgot Baro was even here. But let's see. Chasing a future that only they can envision, the two egoists devise a plan as their opponents gear up to stop them. Will they finally conquer the chaos? So beginning in chapter 238, Dreamers. They aren't going to score next chapter. I can feel it. The game's going to end on chapter 240. We're not scoring next chapter. Despite this literally seeming like the perfect time to score, we're not going to score next chapter. I can feel it in my bones. What I can also feel in my bones is that, yes, this is in fact a peak chapter. Though admittedly it is on the lower end of peak. It is a bit on the lower end. Thank the Lord this isn't actually that sharp. I just stabbed a hole in my thigh. But this is on the lower end of peak. It's like, this chapter is a solid 7.5 out of 10, which is still worthy. Don't get me wrong. The only chapters that are like admittedly unworthy are like 5s and lower. If you're a solid 6, if you're a solid 6 and seller, you can be worthy. But my only issue with this chapter is that it feels like it takes pretty long to get to a point that we had already realized. Like, we already knew. We ended last chapter off with Hiori knowing he had to think reflexively. We've done this song and dance before, where Hiori and Isagi charge up the field. We've done it to the point where we understand that Hiori is developing beyond the point of wanting to quit soccer and is finally feeling it. Do I understand why we have this? Yes, because this is the full realization of all those ideas, of thinking reflexively, of Hiori's development and understanding of himself, the final dregs of him wanting to quit soccer. This is literally everything wrapped up to a final point. So I do get why the chapter is necessary, but at the same time, I am just itching for that end goal. So the chapter's worthy. The chapter's still fire. No. I'm waiting for it to end. Do I think we're going to end in 239 Dreamers? I could literally see next chapter. We get a quick perspective shot of everyone. Hiori does the pass reaches Isagi, Isagi goes for it, and then we end with Isagi about to kick it. And we don't know if it goes in. Something like that. Like same thing with what happened with Baro's shot earlier on in the game where it seemed like it may have gone in, may have not gone in. I thought we were gonna get something like that at the end of 239 Dreamers. But those are my thoughts. Please what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this chunker of a video, please leave I'm quitting soccer. Please leave I'm quitting soccer in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, I want to thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Dago the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Wakanda Plays, Red Wolf 4765, and Burp Skills. I'd like to give another very big thank you to our $5 patrons, Sean, Midnight Gemlord, Kevin, and Demex LND. And I'd like to give a fat, hefty thank you to our $10 patrons, Robbie Uchiha, Joaquin, and Idemokami. And I'd like to give another hefty, thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. And another big fat scrumdiddlyumptious thank you to our $25 patrons, Igneal and Calvin Elder.